Nirvana Unplugged. If you haven't heard this record on vinyl yet, you're doing yourself a disservice.
From Dave Grohl getting nervous to play Brushes for the first time, to Kurt ending the show with a Leadbelly cover screaming his lungs out, this album is slowly growing on me. I was at Target one day with my sisters and I saw this album on a rack, and immediately I picked it up. And I know the music snobs always say that compressed music that we listen to today is nothing compared to vinyl. I'm starting to agree with them. It's a personal experience with the band. I know it's not very punk rock of me to be purchasing records from a corporate company like Target, but bear with me, I still support my local record shops, and you should too. This guitar I'm playing takes 2 jacks. Look at that. When I say this guitar has something special to it, I really mean it. The way this guitar feels is absolutely entrancing. Today was the first time I tried to recreate this album on an acoustic guitar, and similarly, this performance in 1993 was Nirvana's first time playing to an intimate crowd halfway unplugged. I recently found out Cobain was plugged into a Fender amp, so not completely unplugged, but you get what I mean. When I listen to side 1, I feel like I'm sitting at a picnic and Nirvana's playing out in the distance, busking. I can't imagine what it would have been like to be there in the audience at the time of this performance. Now, side 2 is easily my most favorite side. This is when Kurt brought up the Meat Puppets, an up-and-coming band that Kurt obviously admired. A little side story here. My cousin is a genius engineer. He's the type of guy who would listen to Mozart, right? I asked my cousin if he knew any Nirvana songs, and the only song he knew was Lake of Fire. It goes to show how important this release was for the band. You know, some people may not enjoy the aggressive stylings of punk rock music, and this is like a toned down version of Nirvana's usual set list. Other than Nirvana's incredible performance, this rendition of Where Did You Sleep Last Night by Leadbelly came out of left field. Put yourself in the shoes of an audience member at this show. At this point in time, the only people who've ever heard of Leadbelly are blues historians. And all of a sudden, this pop band breaks into this old Delta blues tune that is just full of feel. At this point in time, Kurt Cobain was battling with obviously a ton of slander, and I think this Where Did You Sleep Last Night cover is just a total release of all that anger that was pent up inside. There's one look that Kurt Cobain makes towards the end of this cover. I mean, Lord only knows what's going through his head at this moment in time. Nirvana is the only band that makes me feel hopeless when I'm listening to their music. I'll listen to a song or two and actually leave feeling depressed. Not clinically depressed, of course. In the moment, I'm faced with hopelessness. It's crazy that this band is able to achieve that. This show was mixed and mastered by some of the best engineers in the game, so just keep that in mind if you try to recreate this rig from home. Now, originally, I just plugged my acoustic guitar into my deluxe reverb and my Marshall cabinet, and I was like, oh, that sounds fine. But there's something special about Kurt Cobain's guitar tone in this performance. It almost reminds me of like bark, you know, it's organic. What helped me achieve this organic sound was having one microphone on my acoustic and the other on my Fender amp. I could take a serious deep dive into Cobain's guitar technique and all of the specific fingerings, but I think the more unpolished you are, the closer you are to being a true punk rocker. And I am by no means trying to diss some of the folks who spend the majority of their time and money recreating Kurt's rig to a T. Those folks are a vital part of the Nirvana community. I think I did a pretty good job. Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, this channel is slowly turning into a Nirvana tribute, but thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.